Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Weekly Wildlife Wisdom. As always, I'm your host, Zirieti, and it is Shark Week. So, without further ado, let's go get into it with featuring 7 cartilaginous fish. First off, we've got the spotted ragged tooth shark, also known as the snaggletooth nurse shark, the sand tiger shark, the gray nurse shark, the blue tiger shark, the blue nurse sand tiger, or Oromaster's favorite shark. It is a species of shark that inhabits the subtropical and temperate waters of Japan, Australia, South Africa, and the east coast of North and South America, especially sandy shorelines and submerged reefs at up to 650 feet in depth. A social and nocturnal species, ragged-toothed sharks spend their days resting in groups near or under rocks, overhangs, caves, and reefs, emerging at night to feed upon bony fish, crustaceans, squid, skates, and other sharks. They also hang around shipwrecks in recent years, especially some very famous shipwrecks. While hunting, ragged-toothed sharks rely on stealth, going prolonged periods without moving a single muscle, while floating close enough to the target to strike. They are the only shark known to gulp air and store it in their stomach, allowing them to maintain neutral buoyancy, which helps them to hunt motionlessly and quietly. Additionally, slivers of ragged-toothed sharks will work in tandem when hunting larger bodied prey or large groups of prey. Averaging around 6.5 to 10.5 feet in length and 200 to 350 pounds in weight, they sport a sharp, pointy head, 2 broad dorsal fins, a gray, bulky body with reddish-brown spots along their back. They get their common name from their habit of swimming mouth open, displaying 3 rows of protruding, smoothed-edged, sharp-pointed teeth. Mating of the spotted ragged-toothed shark occurs around the months of October to December in the northern hemisphere and August to October in the southern hemisphere. During pregnancy, the most developed embryo will feed on its siblings, a reproductive strategy known as interuterine cannibalism, i.e., adelphophagy, which means literally eating one's brother. This typically results in the mother giving birth to one or occasionally more fully developed independent offspring after an 8 to 12 month pregnancy. Under ideal conditions, a spotted ragged-toothed shark will reach sexual maturity around 5 to 10 years of age and may live up to 40 years. Next up is one of my favorite sharks, the brown-banded bamboo shark, which is a species of bamboo shark in the family Hemisphylidae. It can be found in the Indo-West Pacific from Japan to northern Australia, where it prefers to live in and around coral reefs and tide pools at up to 280 feet in depth. Here they are bottom-dwelling predators which feed primarily upon crustaceans, mollusks, and other invertebrates, and are also known to feed occasionally upon small, typically injured or sleeping fish. Reaching 3.5 feet in length, these sharks can be distinguished by their concave posterior margin dorsal fin. As adults, they sport a tannish brown dorsal coloration that is marked with faint transverse bands, with the belly being a cream color. As juveniles, their entire body is a light creamish brown, and the bands are much darker and more prominent. The bamboo shark is a nocturnal animal that can survive out of water for up to 12 hours. Brown-banded bamboo sharks have barbels that resemble feline whiskers, hence their common name of cat sharks. Despite this moniker, they are not true members of the cat shark family and are more closely related to nurse sharks, woobygungs, and whale sharks belonging to the family Ecrotobloforms. Orectolobiiforms. Brown-banded bamboo sharks are an oviparous species which breeds year-round. After mating, the female will store sperm in special pouches and use it to fertilize and lay 1 to 2 eggs every 6 to 7 days over a period of around 2 months. The eggs are approximately 5 inches long and hatch after 14 to 15 weeks. The young hatch out at approximately 6 inches in length, with males reaching sexual maturity around 27 to 30 inches in length, while females mature around 25 inches in length. Under ideal conditions, a brown-banded bamboo shark may live up to 25 years. Next up is the giant freshwater stingray. It is a species of stingray in the family Diasteidae, which was historically found throughout most of southern Asia but is now restricted to large rivers and estuaries throughout Cambodia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Thailand, Vietnam, and the island of Borneo. Bottom dwelling in nature, the giant freshwater stingray inhabits sandy or muddy areas where it feeds upon small fishes and vertebrates such as crustaceans, earthworms, and mollusks, which it can detect using its electroreceptive ampullae of Lorenzini. Reaching 10 to 17 feet in length and 4 to 8 feet in width, around 500 to 1,200 pounds in weight. The giant freshwater stingray is considered to be both the largest stingray species on Earth and one of, if not the largest freshwater fish species on Earth. It has a relatively thin oval pectoral fin disc that is widest anteriorly. It has a sharp pointed snout with a protruding tip. The thin whip-like cylindrical tail measures 1.8 to 2.5 times as long as the disc and lacks fin folds. It is armed with a single serrated stinging spine, which is positioned on the upper surface of the tail, near the base, and this spine, at up to 15 inches in length, is the largest spine of any stingray species. The giant freshwater stingray sports a uniformly grayish-brown coloration above and white below, with the underside of the pectoral and pelvic fins bearing a distinct wide, dark bands on the posterior margins. Breeding occurs year-round depending on food availability, after which pregnant females will make their way down to sheltered estuaries which they use as nursery grounds. Here the females give live birth to litters of up to 4 pups, which are sustained to term by maternally produced hystrolith, or hystroph, which is uterine milk. Each pup is born at around 1 foot across, and males mature sexually at approximately 3.5 feet across, while female maturation size is currently unknown. Under ideal conditions, a giant freshwater stingray may live upwards of 35 years. Next up, we have the great hammerhead shark, which is a species of hammerhead shark in the family Sphaerenidae that is found in tropical and warm temperate waters worldwide, inhabiting coral reefs, continental shelves, atolls, lagoons, and deep water near islands. The great hammerhead is a solitary nomadic predator with a varied diet that includes crabs, lobsters, squid, octopus, tarpon, sardines, sea catfishes, toadfishes, porgies, grunts, jacks, groupers, boxfishes, porcupine fishes, with particular preference for flatfishes, other smaller sharks, skates, and especially stingrays. The great hammerhead primarily hunts at dawn or dusk, and that when hunting they swing their heads in broad angles over the seafloor so as to pick up the electrosignatures of animals buried underneath the sand, via the numerous electroreceptor organs located underneath their cephalofoil. The cephalofoil also serves as a hydrofoil that allows the shark to quickly turn around and strike at prey once detected. Great hammerheads are themselves occasionally preyed upon by bull sharks and killer whales. Reaching 12 to 20 feet in length, 500 to 1,200 pounds in weight, the great hammerhead is by far the largest species of hammerhead shark and can be easily distinguished from the other hammerheads by its size and the shape of its cephalofoil, which is wide with an almost straight front margin, and as well by its tall, sickle-shaped first dorsal fin. Unlike most other sharks, which mate on or near the sea bottom, great hammerheads prefer to mate near the surface, with individual sharks breeding on average once every 2 years. After an 11th-month gestation period, female hammerheads will typically give birth from May to July in the northern hemisphere and from November to January in the southern hemisphere, to anywhere from 6 to 55 pups, with 20 to 40 being typical. Males reach maturity around 7.5 to 9 feet long and 110 pounds in weight, while females mature around 8 to 10 feet long and 100 pounds in weight. Under ideal conditions, a great hammerhead may live upwards of 40 years. Next up, we have the Tasseled Woobygun, which is a species of carpet shark in the family Erectodobleidae, and the only member of its genus. It inhabits shallow coral reefs off northern Australia, New Guinea, Malaysia, and other adjacent islands. Reaching 5 to 6 feet in length, the Tasseled Woobygun has a broad, flattened body and head, short tail, large round pectoral and pelvic fins. The species has a mosaic-like dorsal color pattern consisting of numerous small, dark blotches and lines on a gray or yellow-brown background with darker bands. This pattern extends to the underside of the animal and the ventral pectoral and pelvic fin margins, with the belly otherwise being a whitish cream coloration. Its most distinctive trait is its fringe of dermal flaps that have branching lobes running from the snout tip to the origins of the pectoral fins. This includes a beard on the chin and with the nostrils bearing long branching barbels. All these adaptations enable the Tasseled Woobygun to camouflage itself easily against the reef environment, where it is generally nocturnal and a solitary animal. During the day, the woobygun rests inside caves or underneath reef ledges, awaiting to ambush nearby fish, crustaceans, and cephalopods, even occasionally luring in prey by waving its tail to mimic the appearance of a small fish. Additionally, woobyguns are known to let tiny fishes and crustaceans hang out and rest upon their heads, which then attracts larger fishes that are in turn attacked and eaten by the woobygun. At night, woobyguns emerge to socialize and actively forage for food. Not much is known about the reproductive habits of this species, but is presumed to be aplacental viparous like other carpet sharks, with developing embryos being sustained by yolk and an egg. Upon hatching, newborn tasseled woobyguns are around 7 to 8 inches in length. Under ideal conditions, individuals reach sexual maturity around 3 to 4 feet in length and may live up to 30 years. Next up is Monk's devil ray, also known as the manta de monk, the pygmy devil ray, the smooth-tail moblua, or Monk's pygmy devil ray, is a species of ray in the family Mobluidae that is native to the temperate and tropical waters of the eastern Pacific Ocean, ranging from the Gulf of California to Peru, as well as offshore islands such as the Galapagos, Cocos, and Mapelo Islands. Here they can be found singly or in large shoals, feeding upon plankton, mysis, shrimp, and small schooling fish. They tend to stick close to the surface of the water and are known to leap out of the water either alone or in groups, performing vertical jumps, somersaults, and other acrobatic maneuvers. Monk's devil rays are themselves preyed upon by sharks, larger bony fishes, seals, sea lions, dolphins, and toothed whales. Reaching around 3.5 feet wide across the disc, Monk's devil ray has a unique body shape similar to that of its much larger and more recognizable relatives, the manta rays. Its body disc is diamond-shaped and wider than it is long, with the upper surface being a shade of lavender gray to dark purplish gray. And the underside is white, tinged with gray towards the tips of the pectoral fins. The dorsal fin is a brownish gray with a dark rim along the margins and is often a lighter gray area in the middle. The name devil ray is frequently used to refer to the moblua or mobula group of rays because of the cephalic lobes that resemble horns when extended forward. These fleshy appendages are used during feeding to direct prey into the ray's mouth. Like other members of its family, Monk's devil ray has long, spineless whip-like tail. This ray is ovoviviparous, meaning that the embryo develops within an egg retained by the mother's uterus, and most of the embryonic nutrition is supplied by the egg yolk. A single pup is born fully formed, and it closely resembles an adult. Under ideal conditions, Monk's devil ray may live up to around 20 years of age. And our extinct animal of the week is Stethacanthus, which is an extinct genus of shark-like holiocephalians, which lived in the late Devonian to the late Carboniferous epoch, around 382 to 298 million years ago. The first fossils of Stethacanthus, consisting of isolated spines, were unearthed in Montana by paleontologist John Strong Newberry, who initially thought the spines belonged to a set of non-symmetrical pectoral fins. While some various fragmentary skeletal remains were unearthed, it wasn't until 1974 that the family Stethacanthidea was formally defined and described by Richard Lund. Since then, numerous more complete specimens have been recovered throughout the USA, Scotland, Russia, China, and Australia. Today, at least 8 species are considered valid, those being S. altonensis, S. gansuensis, S. nilsoni, S. precursor, S. ritensis, S. thomasi, and S. productus. Reaching around 1.5 to 2.5 feet in length, Stethacanthus in many respects had a shark-like appearance. However, it is easily recognizable by, and it's best known for its unusual shaped dorsal fin, which resemble an anvil or ironing board. In fact, the name Stethacanthus comes from the Greek stethos, meaning chest, and acanthos, meaning spine or thorn, referring to the distinctive fin. In addition to the unusual shape, the small spines covered the growth as well as appearing on the top of the head of males. It is still unknown what benefit these large spikes provided. With its distinctive dorsal fin, Stethacanthus would have had no problem recognizing others of its own species. 2 long cartilaginous tendrils also trailed from the back of the pectoral fins, and in life, Stethacanthus would have been a slow-moving carnivore which inhabited coastal marine and brackish waters where it would have fed upon smaller fish, mollusks, and echinoderms and crustaceans. Additionally, large concentrations of Stethacanthus teeth in specific locations is evidence that Stethacanthus migrated long distances to specific areas to breed, not unlike some modern shark species do today. That'll be it for Shark Week. As always, take care of the guys, gals, non-binary pals. See you next time.